As inflation continues in the United States and it just continues to get its greedy little paws on our bank accounts, and it's like our cash is like an ice cube that's just melting away. Well, where you live, the cost of living in that city becomes increasingly important. So which cities in America allow your dollar to go the furthest? A recent study shows that Cincinnati is one of those top cities where your money can go the furthest to give you the lifestyle that you desire. Let's dig into that. Hey guys, welcome back. It's Eric Sztanyo from Keller Williams Realty and teamsztanyo.com, where we are helping you find your home and strengthen your family. I'm a Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky realtor. We're making all kinds of videos about living here in the Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky area. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel when you get a minute. All right, let's jump into this article in the Cincinnati Business Courier titled Smart Asset Study Finds Cincinnati is the number 25 US city where your salary goes the furthest. All right, let's dive in. When it comes to its national peers, Cincinnati ranks among the top American cities where you can get the most bang for your buck. However, among Ohio's biggest cities, it falls short. Smart Asset, the New York-based financial technology company, looked at 76 of the largest cities in the United States to see where $100,000 in salary goes the furthest. Now, you may make $100,000. That's awesome. You might not make $100,000, but the report is going to show you in terms of cost of living, where would that dollar amount go the furthest in terms of these largest cities in the US. To determine the ranking, it compared the after-tax incomes of the six-figure payday in each city and adjusted those based on the location's cost of living. Cincinnati claimed the 25th spot nationally. For the Buckeye State, it fell behind Columbus, number 13, and Cleveland, number 22. So you might want to compare those three cities in Ohio. I'm going to tell you right now that in terms of lifestyle, Cincinnati's got those cities beat. So even though your dollar might go a little bit further in those cities, it's not really a question, in my personal opinion. After taxes and the cost of living adjustment, a $100,000 salary in the Queen City was calculated to be worth $73,759. Okay, so out of this list of 76, Memphis claimed the top spot on Smart Assets list. After subtracting taxes and making the cost of living, Memphis was at $86,444. All right, so you scroll through this list of the top 20, you're gonna see a lot of Tennessee, you see a lot of Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Florida, Ohio, Indianapolis, Nashville, Wichita, Kansas, Lincoln, Nebraska. We just did a video of talking about moving to the Midwest before it's too late. Now, there's a lot of Texas cities on this list, but if you take Texas out of it, you're seeing a lot of Midwest cities where your cost of living, your dollar's gonna go the farthest. So Cincinnati's coming in 25 on that list. You're getting a lot for the city. Be sure, if you haven't watched it already, we'll put up on the screen our cost of living in Cincinnati video. We also have a video around taxes here in Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky. You can watch that video as well. If you're wondering about how the math was done, here's an example given by Smart Asset. The annual take-home pay after tax in Los Angeles is around $68,050, but the cost of living is about 52.5% higher than the national average. So to calculate the city's adjusted annual take-home pay, the analysts divided its average after-tax income by 1.525%, 52.5% higher, so the 1.525%. This put the $100,000 salaries value for someone living in LA at $44,623, giving it the 71st spot in its ranking. Let's just compare those two cities for a minute. LA is around $44,000 after your taxes and cost of living. Cincinnati was right around $74,000. So simply by moving from LA to Cincinnati, you're getting an extra $30,000 in your pocket every year. What do you want to do with that money? Do you want to travel? Do you want to buy some fun toys? Do you want to put away more into retirement? Do you want to give more to charities? What do you want to do with that money? I don't know. But in this post-COVID world, you kind of have to consider this, right? I know LA has a lot to offer. It has beaches in California and sunshine and 70-degree weather, but you could also move to Cincinnati and take 2 vacations a year to LA or Europe or Florida or wherever you want to go and still pocket the $20,000 excess. I mean, you've got to run the math for yourself and decide what's best, not only for cost of living, but also lifestyle. Now let's dig into some of these cities that performed the worst on this list. So I'm jumping over to this Smart Asset article and looking at some more of the data and the findings. Some key findings are St. Louis is very affordable place to live in. Another key finding is that income demands in the Southern California metro area rose nearly 30%. Let me read this. None of the 25 places in our study had a more acute 1-year increase in the after-tax income needed to live comfortably than the Riverside, San Bernardino, Ontario. A year ago, $52,686 was required for a comfortable lifestyle. That number has shot up 27% to $67,000 in 2023. So if you're living in Southern California and you are feeling the pinch, the squeeze, you're not alone. I mean, it's the hardest place. The greatest rise in America is happening in Southern California. It is expensive there. Do you want to continue to pay all that money? So this data is talking about living comfortably in the largest metro areas. They use the 50-30-20 rule to define a comfortable lifestyle. This rule is a budgeting strategy that allocates 50% of the after-tax income to basic living expenses, your needs like your groceries and gasoline and rent or your mortgage. 30% to discretionary spending, so these are your wants, just things you would like to buy, you want to buy those, and 20% for savings of debt and payments. So looking at the cities that score the worst for living comfortably, number 1 is the San Francisco, Oakland, Berkeley, California. Let's just go down the list here. To live comfortably in the San Francisco area, you need a post-tax annual salary of $84,000 a year. If you're not making that post-tax, you're not living comfortably in San Francisco. Going down this list in terms of cities where you might be getting squeezed the most: San Francisco, San Diego, California, Boston, Massachusetts, New York, Seattle, Washington, Los Angeles, California, Washington, D.C., Portland, Washington, Denver, Colorado, and Orlando, Florida. If you're living in those cities, it just simply requires a higher salary to live. You compare that to the Midwest cities, in particular Cincinnati, Ohio, and it's just what we talked about before. You'll be able to pocket extra money in your bank account every single year. You'll be able to have more discretionary income to buy not just those needs, but those wants. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching. Again, if you want to learn more about living in the Cincinnati area, be sure to watch our cost of living video and our pros and cons of living in Cincinnati, Ohio. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.